In a true survival situation, every square foot counts. Every calorie matters, and every ounce of effort has to pull its weight. That's why a survival garden has to be efficient, and today I'm going to share how to do it without losing joy or connection to the land. This is Learn as You Grow, and we're digging into the strategies that make your garden work smarter, not harder. So when I say survival situation, it doesn't have to be some big world thing. It can be your own personal, individual, localized thing. It can mean a grocery store that was close to you actually went out of business and you're going to have to drive 30 minutes more to get to one. It could mean somebody lost their job. It could mean a separation happened, some kind of life change, maybe a sickness, maybe you're now allergic to something and you have to pivot, right? Maximizing yield per square foot is just magnificent once you figure it out. In a square foot, you can have a certain amount of plants. So like I think carrots is 16. They recommend 16 carrots in 1 square foot. Now we all have seen row plantings where a carrot has like a 2-inch spacing between the next carrot plant. No wasting space with things that might keep growing, but we're not really sure. If something's on its way out, take it out, put something new in. We don't have time to mess around. Let's say you've picked your broccoli and you know how you hear, oh, yeah, it makes side shoots. Well, that's great. But that takes a lot of time, and I'd rather pull the plant and put something quick turnover in or something with high calorie, which we're going to list. Also, keep in mind your living pathways are a huge bonus to your survival garden because it's going to hold moisture. It's going to provide roots in the ground. It's going to provide something that you can cut and mulch with, or you can make a fermented plant juice with. You know, there's alfalfa, hairy vetch, clover, all kinds of things. It can be just grass on the edge that you mow. Growing nutrient dense crops. Okay, so when we think of what that looks like, any kind of root crop, any kind of beans, greens. Now, for greens, I would say Swiss chard and kale are nutrient dense. Perennial edibles, come on. I think when someone goes, what should I grow as a gardener, like a beginner gardener, you should just give them a perennials list, to be honest. Because wow, does that blow your mind when the next year comes around and there was no prep work. There was no thinking. It was just maybe some pruning, making sure there's some mulch. Of course, water is involved, but then you get this guaranteed harvest almost every time. You know, around here in Minnesota, we have apple trees, strawberries, asparagus, raspberries. There's all kinds of things. There's the weird stuff that maybe we could grow in certain microclimates of our property, and some stuff it's a risk. Maybe one winter they'll get taken out. Experiment and try. Perennials for the win. Okay. Now there's also ancient grains and highly nutritious things that are like kind of a secret, you know, like amaranth and millet and sorghum. Knowing how to grow those things, how to harvest them, and how to eat them, you're winning. Designing for multi-purpose plants. Okay, so what I mean by this is, let's say it's edible and a nitrogen fixer. What is that? Peas, fava beans, lentils, chickpeas, peanuts. Bet you didn't know that one. Or it's a pest deterrent and it's harvestable. So we're mixing these into our space. What's an example of a pest deterrent that's also harvestable? Basil, chives, dill, garlic, lemongrass. Okay. Minimizing wasted effort. We're doing that companion planting. Things are growing closely together in a square foot, and it's not just one crop, it's a mix of things in one space. Succession planting. Okay, this can be done a few ways. It can mean you're planting seeds every 2 weeks. It can mean you plant things all at once that have different days to maturity in a family. Let's go back to carrots. Plant a carrot that takes 55 days. Plant a carrot that takes 75 days. And if there's a carrot that takes a longer period of that, plant them all at the same time, but then you'll get a harvest at different intervals. With planting every 2 weeks, that's great for things like green beans. It's going to keep coming. Lettuce, you hear with lettuce a lot. Minimizing wasted effort is important to continue with that no-till or low-till method. So building soil up and not disturbing it. That could be piling things on as far as organic matter. So your leaves, your grass clippings. Some people start with cardboard on a space and then build up from there. Always having compost. You can chop and drop. You can compost in place. You can dig trenches. You can have piles, greens, browns mixed together. Efficiency isn't about being cheap. It's about making every plan and every action earn its keep. So ideas. The square foot or raised bed layouts for maximum yield. Now this can be done in the ground. It just would be set up, what would it be, 3 feet wide so you can access it on each side of it, and however long as you can go. That makes sense for your space, right? Succession planting to keep beds productive. Always have a plant in the ground, right? Have a little nursery going of things being started, so when something comes out, things can go in. Really thinking ahead. You can actually do a succession planting another way I just thought of. So let's say you start a tray of seedlings, and then when you go to direct sow them, or transplant them, I mean, my words are getting messed up. It's late when I'm recording this. Okay, so you've got a seedling and you're going to transplant it into the garden. Direct sow that same thing that same day. So you have one that's ahead and one that's just starting. That's another method of succession. I hope that wasn't too confusing. Um, okay, polyculture to deter pests naturally, what is polyculture? It's the practice of growing more than one crop species together in the same place at the same time. So that's why we were talking about mixing something that's edible and a nitrogen fixing, something that's edible and pest deterring, something that grows quickly, something that takes more time, all in the same space. Now there's also this word bioaccumulators and nitrogen fixers to enrich soil while growing food. Your dandelion does that. It has a really deep taproot. It harvests minerals deep in the earth and uses its plant body to bring it up. And when you chop and drop the leaves and the flower and the stem onto the surface, it decomposes and feeds those soil surface layers of roots for the plants you're growing, all of that nutrition. Comfrey, we hear about that all the time. And comfrey, Bocking 14, doesn't have a seed that will make more plants. It's a sterile seed, so you don't have it out of control, but you can take cuttings or split it, crown divisions, root divisions, and grow more plants. I love comfrey. I have 6, and I'm probably going to divide them in the spring here in Minnesota to get at least 12 because they are so great to have next to my fruit trees. They're great to have to make fermented plant juices because I chopped my comfrey down to nothing 3 times and it still bushed out. Like, it's nuts. Curly dock, burdock, and yarrow are also examples of bioaccumulators that I want to add into my space next season. They are on my wish list. And then water smart methods. Okay, so we don't want to waste that precious water. If you are having rainfall, capture it. I don't care if it's a bucket and then you just put a cap on it when it's full. Just use something. Rain barrels are popular, totes, something. Ponds, people build ponds. Mulching, keeping the water in the soil. Drip irrigation is super common. I don't have any experience with that one. How to prioritize high calorie versus high effort crops. Okay, so again, we're talking about we need to eat from our garden. We need to grow a full plate, right? What have we heard of in history with this? Let me know in the comments below. I know you're thinking potatoes, right? Cabbages were really popular too in history. Sunflowers, okay? All the beans. Beans for fresh eating, all the different types of beans for drying. You can grow bush beans that can get to maturity and dry to have food on the shelf for storage without doing anything to it. Pole beans are the ones that need some kind of support or trellis. Those are great, high producers, but some of us just want to have bush beans to make it easier, right? I know that's on my list of things next year to grow more of. Then there's all the different types of grains, like I listed earlier: sorghum, millet, amaranth. You can get even deeper. I mean, if you can do the whole wheat rice thing, groovy. Winter squash, another best kept thing to grow. Wipe it off with some apple cider vinegar after it's cured. Store it on the shelf in a cool, dry place, and you're good. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to process it. Then there's the crops that are okay, but they have high effort. Like there's high energy involved in growing them. And the list I have for that is beets, cherry tomatoes, kale, lettuce, peas, radish, spinach, and zucchini. You just kind of need to check them more often. It's not a plant it and forget it like a potato or a winter squash. These things need some tending to. They're great foods. You know, we all know about variety. Grow your own spices. Herbs, you need a huge patch of herbs. If you think you have enough, grow more. Like the power of flavor, okay? And that's not even getting into herbal medicine. Efficiency doesn't make gardening cold or transactional, it makes it sustainable. Okay, every seed you plant thoughtfully is a step towards resilience, security, and self reliance. When we garden with intention, we honor both the plants and our time, energy, and resources. If you're ready to make your garden work smarter, not harder, start small, observe, and experiment, and record keep, as I would add to that. The results will surprise you. For more practical gardening tips, head over to Shawneegrows on YouTube. Check out our merch store to support the show. We have puzzles and a flag and hats and stickers and magnets and shirts. There's something there for everybody. And if you're interested in a sponsorship or a collaboration, you should send me an email, shawneegrows@gmail.com. Links are in the description. Until next time, grow every day in every way.